There comes a moment when the world you once accepted begins to feel unfamiliar. The world didn't suddenly change. Something within you stopped agreeing with it. What once distracted you now feels empty. The conversations that once pulled you in now sound mechanical. The goals people chase begin to look like cages dressed as success. And at first, you may think something is wrong with you. You may wonder why old pleasures no longer satisfy you, why certain people feel harder to be around, or why the systems that everyone defends begin to feel hollow, inverted, and meaningless. Nothing is wrong with you. Your true sight is returning. Because the false world doesn't become visible when the soul is asleep. It becomes visible when the soul remembers the monad. When the soul sleeps, the false world feels natural. The constant comparison, the addiction to distraction, the worship of status, all of it feels like life. But it isn't life. It's programming. It's the current of the false world moving through the mind, pulling awareness outward, keeping you fixed on what is temporary. The sleeping soul doesn't question the current because it was born inside the river. It mistakes movement for purpose. It mistakes stimulation for meaning. It mistakes survival for freedom. But when something ancient begins stirring within you, the spell loses its power. You look at the same world, but you no longer see it in the same way. When people talk, you hear the fear beneath their words. You watch the crowd run toward the next fad, but you wonder who told them where to go. You feel the pressure to become something, but something deeper whispers, you are not here to become what the false world rewards. And that whisper is dangerous to the illusion. Because once the soul begins to wake up, the false world is exposed. It still appears powerful. It still appears convincing. It still distracts, tempts, and seduces. But you see through the illusion, and the veil begins to rip wide open. The false world isn't just governments, media, money, and institutions. Those are only expressions. The deeper false world is the inner agreement that says, this is all there is. You are only the body. You are only as valuable as the world says you are. That's the real prison. Not a prison made of iron and stone, but a prison of perception. The Gnostics understood this. They spoke of a world shaped by ignorance, ruled by blind forces, and sustained by forgetfulness. Existence itself isn't evil, but consciousness becomes trapped when it forgets its true origin. The soul becomes hypnotized by the surface life. It begins to believe that the shadow is the whole world. It forgets the eternal light behind all forms. It forgets the monad, the silent, undivided origin beyond fear, beyond division, beyond the machinery of the false world. And once the soul forgets, it begins living as a fragment. It identifies with the trauma. It identifies with the body. It identifies with the mask. But beneath all of that, something remains untouched. A still flame. A witness. A holy awareness that was not created by the false world, and therefore can never belong to it. This is why awakening feels so strange. You're not becoming someone new. You are remembering what the illusion made you forget. But the moment you begin to see beyond the veil, resistance comes. It doesn't always come as something dramatic. It doesn't always come as a visible enemy. It doesn't always come as some obvious darkness standing in front of you. Sometimes it comes as doubt. Sometimes it comes through people who like you better when you were easier to control. They may even call you crazy. But understand this clearly. The false world will often accuse the awakened soul of being the problem. It will accuse you of becoming bitter. It will say you are arrogant. It will claim that your newfound freedom is rebellion. It will call the remembrance of your true self delusional. Because the illusion doesn't need to completely fool you. It only needs you to doubt what you have seen. The early stage of awakening can feel lonely. You are not fully asleep anymore, but you're not fully awake. You stand between two worlds. Behind you is the old world. Before you is a path into the unknown light. And within you is the monad. This is initiation. The Archonic forces don't need to control every action. They only need humanity unconscious enough to consent without knowing it. Every time the soul believes fear is the truth, the false world strengthens. Every time the soul mistakes distraction for peace, the false world strengthens. Every time the soul abandons inner knowing just to fit in with the crowd, the false world strengthens. But the opposite is also true. Every act of remembrance weakens the spell. Every moment of stillness pierces the veil. Every return to the monad completely destroys the illusion. This doesn't mean you should hate the world. That's just another trap. Hatred binds you to what you hate. The goal is not hatred. The goal is true sight. You are not here to scream at the shadows on the wall of the cave forever. You are here to turn toward the light behind you. The soul does not become free by obsessing over the prison. The soul becomes free by remembering the monad. So if the world has started to feel strange, don't rush to numb the feeling. Sit with it. Something within is waking up. The emptiness you feel around old pleasures isn't emptiness at all. It's the soul withdrawing its worship from the false world. The loneliness you feel doesn't mean you are alone. It means you are no longer synchronized with the sleeping crowd. This discomfort isn't punishment. It's the first moment of clarity after a lifetime inside of a dream. The false world becomes visible when the soul stops sleeping. And once it becomes visible, you have a choice. You can panic and run back to the dream, or you can become still enough to remember what was watching the dream all along. Because that watcher is not weak. It's not confused. It's not owned by the illusion. It's the light behind the veil. It's the spark of the eternal. It's the soul remembering its origin within the monad. If this transmission resonated with you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may be starting to see through the illusion, but doesn't yet have the words for it. Comment below, when did the false world first become visible to you? Your comments help build this field of remembrance, so others who arrive here know they are not alone on the path. And if you feel called to support the channel more directly, there are a few ways to do so. You can leave a super thanks on this video. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/magnumopus333, or you can visit the Magnum Opus 333 store on Teespring. The links are in the description below. And if you want to go deeper with this work, consider becoming a channel member. Memberships help sustain these transmissions and supports the creation of deeper monad-centered content for those who feel called to this path. Remember, your consciousness is the key that unlocks reality. Let's keep unlocking it together. Thank you for watching. Until next time.